Hello, it is Jane again here from Avoda Business Advisory. In this video, I just want to show you how to do an STP finalisation for your payroll. So to get started, you want to go to the Payroll tab and click on Single Touch Payroll. Now, what I am going to show you here is we're going to use this end of financial year payroll checklist. If you follow this, it should make it a little bit easier for you. And yeah, it's got little check boxes. So I'll just show it to you. So just click on that, which will open up this window here. So step one, it wants you to review all the payroll settings and your organization details. So step one, review organization details. So to do that, we want to go back into Xero, click on your company name in the top left and go to settings. Here you can see organization details. And you just want to scroll down and then all your organization details are in here. So just double check that to make sure all those details are correct and fill in any information that may be missing. So once that's done, just click the Save button. Right, the next step is to review the payroll settings. So we want to check that the earnings and deduction pay items have all been set up correctly within the category. Allowance is set up within the earnings category of allowance. And then there's some more detailed information if you click there. So if we go back to Xero, and we want to click on your company name and click on settings. Then we want to go to payroll settings. So here, what it's wanting you to double check is pay items. And it automatically opens on the earnings tab, which is the first one we want to have a look at. So we can see here the allowances are indeed set to allowance. Ordinary hours is ordinary, time earnings, overtime is overtime, that sort of thing. So red flags is obviously if you had an allowances and it was set to ordinary, then you'd want to change that to allowances. This is a demo file and it's not often that you will find every single item that's here. ETP and redundancy are quite rare, so you may not use those. Right, now we can see that that is all correct. Let's go back to the checklist. So this is to do with the W1 reporting. So under the earnings tab, ensure all allowances have an ATO type assigned for correct reporting with STP. You can read more about it if you click there. So let's just make sure that it's all correct. So basically everything we can see here should be reportable as W1. So sometimes when Xero is set up, these are automatically selected as no. Not sure why, but we do need to go in and change it to yes. So I'll just show you on one of them just to make sure the video doesn't go for too long. So you click on the little three dots on the right and click edit. Then we want to scroll down and just make sure this is ticked here, reportable as W1 on activity statement, and click save. Oh, it's not letting me do it because an allowance type is required. Right, just for this demo, we'll just click other. But yeah, if you've got an allowance, you would know which one that should go under. Sorry about that. Reportable as W1. Let's do another one. Let's do ordinary hours. That should be a bit more simple than the allowances one. We just want to make sure that is ticked. It should be as simple as that. Okay, let's go back to the checklist. Under the Deductions tab, review the excluded from W1 column for each pay item to ensure deduction pay items are reported correctly on activity statements. So let's go back to the payroll settings and click on Deductions. Once again, you probably won't have all of these in your deductions, but as a general rule, anything post-tax, so for example, this one, other post-tax deductions, should actually be, yes, excluded from W1, and other pre-tax deductions, that's correct. It is not excluded from W1. So just to change that, you click on the three dots again and go Edit. And we want to click on Excluded from W1 on Activity Statement. All right, now let's go back to the checklist. Review employees. Run the employee contact details report to check each employee entry for accuracy, mainly focusing on date of birth and the postcode. So let's go back into payroll. There's a couple ways you can do this. You can go payroll employees. And you can see your employees here. So you can click on somebody's name and go into the details that way. This may be more beneficial if you've only got a couple of employees. So under the Details tab, you can see their name and date of birth and postcode in there. If you've got a lot of employees, it's probably quicker to do a report. So to do that, we go Accounting and Reports. So once in the reporting area, we want to go down to the payroll. We want to find employee contact details. So click on all, and all is as in the employment status, and update. And this displays their date of birth and their all their details in an easy to read table, which is much quicker viewing at a glance to check off the contact details of your employees. So the next thing, we're on to the second page. So in this one, we have to make sure the balances reconcile. So check all pay runs for the financial year have been posted and have a payment date within the financial year. For example, pay runs with a payment date of 30th of June or earlier will be reported in the 21 financial year. So just to see that, you just want to go to payroll and pay employees. And you'll be able to see your pay run histories here. So if you've still got a draft pay run that's within the old financial year, you just want to make sure that that is approved and filed. On another note, yours should all have a green approved here under STP filing, not overdue, like this demo file. And it's overdue, obviously, because we cannot file to the ATO because it is a demo. So yeah, check all wages have been paid through the business bank account. You're likely to know this yourself if you've paid, the last week's pay run. But if you need to double check that, you can go into the bank account. And you should be able to, if you've reconciled it, you should be able to do a search. If you've put the reference as wages, you should be able to search for wages, and that'll show up all the payments that you've done for wages. Let's go back. Check all payroll-related transactions such as wages, PAYG, and superannuation have been reconciled against the bank statement. For more instructions, you can click here. Same again, you will probably know if you've paid your wages and super. Probably could skip that one for now. We can skip this one too. I do have a video on adding in opening balances, so you might want to check out my other video if you need help doing that. This one, run the payroll activity summary report. So review the pay item totals and the activity statement column. So we're actually going to run a slightly different report which displays it a bit more clearly. So we go to accounting and reports, and we'll go down to payroll, and we're going to go to the payroll employee summary. And the date range, you want that to be last financial year, provided you are doing this report from the 1st of July. And update. Just for the demo, we'll go this financial year. There we go. So you can clearly see the totals for the net pay, super, and earnings. And then once we've got that, we want to run another report. They're calling it the general ledger report. And we just want to look at the wages and the superannuation. But for this, once again, we don't really like using the general ledger report, so we're going to just go to the profit and loss report. Then we'll change that to, we'll change it to this financial year, but once again, you want it to be last financial year if you're doing the report from 1st of July 2022. Right, now we'll see here that there's wages and salaries. Now, this demo file doesn't display the superannuation, but your Xero file will show a superannuation payable line in here as well. So the aim of this is that you want the wages and salaries and the superannuation payable to match what is on this report here. All right, now if something is not quite right, it means perhaps something has been allocated wrong, or you've missed paying your employees for one pay run or two pay runs. So yeah, just a couple red flags there, that if it doesn't match, you need to have a look and try and find out, yeah, what might have been paid, what might have been overpaid, etc. Yeah, and that's the final step to the tasks on this page here. Just to compare the amounts and make sure that they match. All right, now step 3, this is to process the single touch payroll data. Now this is the main step that most of you just want to get straight into, and you don't want to bother checking off all the other things because you know they're already correct. We do recommend, though, most importantly, comparing that payroll data versus the profit and loss data, just as a double check before you submit anything. because there sometimes can be something that's just out slightly that you might need to fix before finalising the STP. Okay, so to finalise a single touch payroll, we want to go back to payroll and single touch payroll. We want to go to finalisation. Let's go back to our checklist because this will help us tick everything off. So check the tax year is set to the correct financial year. Yes, 21, 22. Toggle the show terminated employee switch. So you can toggle that. In this demo, no one's been terminated, so that won't show up any extra people. But if you have terminated someone in that year, it will show up. It'll add the extra employees to it. Ensure all employees that require STP finalisation are appearing in the list. They've put a tip here. If an employee doesn't appear in the STP finalisation, please review their employment start date and employment basis. I won't show you how to do that, but you would just go back into payroll and employees and just go into their employee file and just check the start date in there. So review each employee's year-to-date summary for accuracy and enter any required reportable fringe benefits amounts. So to do that, we just want to click on the first person's name, and this is employee year-to-date summary. So we just go through this, cast your eye over it, make sure these amounts are correct, add in any reportable fringe benefits, and click next. And then that will go to the next person, and you just keep clicking through, double checking all the data. Until you're finished, and I think we're back to the start. Yes, so we'll just click save to get out of there. Now, the next step is select the employees to finalize, and if required, export the data to CSV by clicking export to CSV. So to select everybody, we just want to tick the box at the top. You can export to CSV here, which is just an Excel file, or you can go finalize and submit to the ATO. Now then you have to select this box here to submit it to the ATO. Now obviously that's not going to work because it is a demo file. Read the authorization to file declaration. Yes, we've done that. Check the status column in the finalization screen. Okay, so I won't be able to show you that last one, but yeah, once that's gone through, you will get another screen and you will see some, I think, ticks against their names to say that it's gone through. It's sometimes not instant. It can take a little while for it to go through. Yeah, so let's go to the next one. All right, so this next step, I'm not going to show it to you because this video is purely about STP finalization, but there's information here on how to prepare and finalize payment summaries. And there's also information on adjustments and how to process superannuation, which I also won't go through. All right, so it's as simple as that to lodge your single touch payroll. So once that goes through, the ATO finalizes all that data, and your employees should be able to get their tax returns done mid-July once the ATO has received everything for them, like their bank interests, private health information, all that kind of stuff. And rest assured, if you do make a mistake on the single touch payroll, you can do an unscheduled pay run to try and correct something that might have gone wrong. Yeah, please let me know if you would like to see a video on how to do an unscheduled pay run. I'm happy to create another video to show you how to do that. Thanks for watching, and hopefully you've got some good information out of this video. And if you want to get alerted for any more videos that we might be showing, be sure to subscribe to our channel.